The first one, his name, I have the honor of introducing him, Mr. Peshang. He is currently a graduate student focusing on the field of environmental sciences, majoring in hydrology. He is an advocate of the people. He came from Iraq, and he is currently the regional youth focal point of the United Nations International Federation of Youth. Please help me welcome him here on stage.
Thank you, Casey. Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. You enjoyed the panels. You enjoyed the panelists' talks. And Casey, actually, the first plenary went very well. It was very inspiring, and many inspiring messages were given to the audience. And the expectations were very high, but it was delivered. That's what was my insight from the plenary one. So I'd like to thank all the panelists from the plenary one. And actually, we had Lydia Dai from the Unify that she talked about the youth representation and engagement, where she emphasized on the role of the youth that need to be engaged in the community. And she picked some examples from the YDPA in the global survey and articulated them. Our second panelist was our honorable keynote speaker, Dr. Johan Stander from the WMO. And he just inspired us by his slides, his speech, and he talked about the main themes about the governance and aligning the international and national policies together. So basically, he taught us to think globally but act locally, which was very inspirational for me. And the second panelists were from PhD students from the Samar State University. So they had a case of a community with level 2 water supply, and the level of the classifications of the water access need to be revised. So that was their main concern. The fourth panelists were me, and I spoke about climate change, how the phenomena behind climate change works, and I showed you some pictures, videos of the reality of the case that's threatening us, threatening next generation, and what we should do about it. We had Dr. Lorenzo as a panelist there, and he talked about the WASH, and to be specific, he mentioned that in the Asia and Pacific we had around 300 million people which doesn't have any access to drinking water, and more than 1.2 billion people that doesn't have a poor basic sanitation services. And he just emphasized on how important is it to have a drinking water and a poor sanitation for everyone. The six panelists were the same case studies from the PhD students of Leyte University. They talked about how the schools reflect the community and how education of schools need to be addressed in the WASH system toward building the next generation in the community. Our last keynote speaker was April Juanilo. He joined us virtually, and he gave a motivational speech of how the youth are capable of doing many things. Simply, how can they move the mountains, and the capacity and awareness of the youth is very important to generate a brighter world. Simply, that was the keynote speaking about my panels. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you so much. Wait a minute before you give the microphone to Ange. If there's one message that you would like everyone in this room to remember on the first session, what would it be?
Yes, while having the first session, I thought about a thing that we talked for many things. So now I would like to tell you something, if I may, Casey. We will gonna make an experiment, okay? Are you ready? Titila, I cannot do your job. Okay, may all of you stand up. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna count until 3, then we will clap. Let's show how powerful we are, okay? I will count until 3 and we will clap. Can you hold the microphone for me, Casey? Okay. I will count, but just be ready and we will just clap together, okay? 1, 2. What did you do? I said, I will count until 3, then we will clap. But I counted until 2, but you clapped with me. Why? I acted. I made an action, and you all followed the action. So the talks in a side, but the action is what makes us a better world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please, have a seat.
Thank you so much, Peshang.
Thank you. Thank you, Anj. Maybe most of you know Les Brown. He has a motivational video, 3 minutes. I recommend you watch it. He says that if you want to get something in life, you gotta be hungry. If you are hungry for a thing, then you can achieve it. Because some people are so negative, some politicians are so negative that they need to say 7 times no before they say a yes. But after the yes is the important thing that changed the life of others, changed the life of the next generation. So you gotta be hungry, guys. You gotta be hungry. Thank you so much.
Wow.